Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again. Traveling and trading vlog, traveling the world, coming to you from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. My gosh, this is so beautiful. I'm gonna give you guys a room tour of the place I've been staying at for the last 2 months. We're gonna do some trading and then I'm going to show you before I left Cancun, I went to the Great Mayan Pyramids, place that I've always wanted to go. So I'm going to showcase that awesome part of the video for you guys later. But first we are going to give you guys a room tour. Oh my God, look at that view. Oh my God. Give you guys a quick room tour and then we will get into trading. Here we go, let's flip the camera around. So this is the trading setup where I've been at for the last 2 months. This is my little desk. Go up here, we got a nice TV. We usually put on BNN throughout the whole day, 24/7. We got FIFA coming around the corner, so rooting for Team Mexico. I guess that's the team I'll be rooting for. Here is the kitchen, absolutely amazing. Show you guys the fridge. Nothing going on too much. Honestly, it's completely empty. We've got some ground beef, some juices in there. I usually make my smoothies every single day and some chicken. It's completely empty, so nothing too interesting is in here. I'm out of bananas and yogurt, but I know you guys like to see those fridge tours and I always upload them on Fridays to my Instagram, so I'll get that back up and running. Nice little lounge area over here, can't complain. This is where I spend majority. Let's get to this view. Oh my gosh, you guys don't even care where I sleep. There it is, absolutely beautiful. My gosh, check out the view overlooking the Bay of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Absolutely beautiful, eh? I can say hi to my neighbors. Hey, how you doing down there? There it is. My gosh, absolutely beautiful. How much am I paying? About 850 a month USD, $30 a night. Absolutely beautiful. So hey, I already gave you guys the room tour. Let's get into the trading portion, talk about some trades, some swing trading as well. I want to get into that. And then we will do the Mayan pyramids. Awesome history lesson coming your way. It's always my dream to travel and trade. So that's why I like sharing these videos with you guys. Part of the lifestyle, you know? No $1 million watches, $1 million cars, reasonable places. All right, let's get into it. I'll see you guys on the charts. Cheers. Okay, we are here on the charts. We are going to go over a couple analysis, but first, let's go to the trade review tab and pull up a trade. This is a trade from today that actually didn't come back, but sure, we can talk about this first before we actually talk about some live trades. This was a setup on my watch list that I really liked, looking for selling opportunities. As you guys know, maybe you guys don't know, I trade the supply and demand methodology. So I'm trying to trade where the big money is buying and selling. And so the whole concept of this was first starting out on my higher time frame. This was my 1 hour time frame. Prices were coming back up into this pivot point area of supply of where previously we made new lower lows, like here, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we were pulling back up to this area of where it made a new lower low. We're also sitting inside an area of supply that had a pretty good imbalance to the downside. That was letting me know that a lot of sellers came in. So we're looking to join this trend to the downside on the 1 hour time frame. Like I said, trend is like sideways slash down. Price inside 1 hour supply. Price is also like piercing above the top of the Bollinger Bands. It's hard to see, but it's piercing like above it, which usually you get a rejection, something like this you see over here, something you see this over here, especially, as well as down here at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. So price was like piercing a little bit above it. That's nice. And then also if we scroll down, we are also overextended, overbought on the stochastics RSI with price beginning to turn down. So I was like, great, this is a good time to be looking to join the trend to the downside. Except I needed to see confirmation, meaning evidence of buyers stepping in. So that brought to me to my 5-minute time frame. And as we can see, prices are rallying up, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. That's of course going to happen on the smaller time frame if you are sitting back in a pullback area like we were, are on the 1 hour supply zone. So I was looking to time my entry. Maybe a set and forget would have worked. I mean, we could have a look at the charts and see if set and forget would have worked. But here, price is making higher highs, higher lows. I like looking for selling opportunities. I just need to see the evidence of sellers coming in. And then we got this big amount of sellers coming in that was actually breaking structure, breaking the higher highs, higher lows, making new lows, as well as breaking trend lines. And it's a good quality scored zone. I was waiting for the pullback to come back up into here and sell it. But ultimately, it just kind of like diddled down and it hasn't pulled back. So maybe I'll keep that on my watch list for Friday, even though there's not too much news coming out on Friday. For the kicks and giggles, let's have a quick look. What was that, pound yen? So yeah, prices never did come back. What were we gonna check on the one? Oh, set and forget. Was there a set and forget? Well, if we go to the 1 hour, we look above. So there's two zones that interest me. We're going into the 1 hour zone, and this is the first zone that interests me right here. It's a nice rally-based drop, as well as we have a rally-based drop at the extreme of the zone. So we're kind of trading with the trend. This is the last time that sellers will step into the market. I guess both of them actually performed really well, both set and forget. So, hey, that's good to see that. Let's talk about the trade reviews. This was, when I look back at this was like a pretty ambitious trade regarding what I was going for on my take profits. This was out at break even, loading the chart. Let me scroll in. So I've been looking for selling opportunities on the Dow Jones. It's been on a heck of a rally lately. And so on the 4 hour time frame, we were coming back up into this area of supply that made a massive move to the downside. Look at that very strong move, right? That's a lot of selling that came into the market. So I had that on my watch list, but I am aware that, hey, the 4 hour trend, it's in a heavy uptrend, right? It's higher highs, higher lows. So I need to be aware I am trading counter trend. So two things I might want to consider: smaller risk and quicker take profits. I didn't have a quicker take profit, but instead I had moved my stop loss to break even. So in this case, I knew I'm looking for a quick corrective move. So I went down to my lower time frame and I saw this nice little 1 minute rally base drop supply zone, had my stop above the 4 hour supply. So managed to stay in the trade, and I was going for like a 3-to-1, which would be like somewhere down in here, I'm guessing. But after like a 1.5-to-1 move, prices reverse, stopped me out at break even. So it's good that I protected myself. But kind of looking back at this, I was treating this trade as in it's like a trending market trade as of all my other trades. I mean, we look at the other trade that we could look at. This is, let me blow this up. No, we don't have to. We can take a picture like this. This on the 4 hour time frame looks completely different. In this case, we are trading with the trend, like on the 4 hour, right? Lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. We are pulling back up into this area of supply that made a new low in the market. So we're going to be trading with the trend. We are in a downtrend, pulling back up into an area of 4 hour supply zone. If you guys have any questions about this, you guys can always reach out to me on social media at Moneyball Austin. I also do have a whole video tips playlist on my YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube, go to my tips playlist, and then it's tips, and it covers the whole supply and demand methodology, talking about zones, how to trade them, what's good, what's bad, how to draw trend lines, how to draw zones, multiple time frame analysis like I'm explaining here. It goes into a lot more depth. So that will be in the description below as well if you just want the direct link. While I'm at it, I would appreciate if you guys do like this video. It really helps me grow the channel, and subscribe. All right, this is a traveling trading video, so it's going to be entertaining and very educational in the later half. We're back into an area where I like looking for selling opportunities. Like I said, trading with the trend, lower lows, lower highs, also bouncing off of this downward trend line. So I definitely like looking for selling opportunities. And then we see on the smaller time frame, the 30-minute, making these higher highs, higher lows. We got the confirmation of price actually removing these pivot point zones here and here, breaking that trend. And that was the supply I was selling at. Obviously, I like this one for like a higher take profit because I'm trading with the trend versus the other one, counter trend. So I think I was pretty ambitious about the counter trend. I think that's when you got to take a step back and say, hey, you are trading counter trend. It's something that I always say. So you probably should do smaller risk as well as ask for less in the market as it's a lower probability that prices will go more in your favor when you're trading counter trend, right? So instead, maybe higher risk when you're trading with the trend. But in this case, this was a trade that was stopped out. This was a losing trade. But I want to talk to you about silver. Silver is an interesting one that I really like. And we're combining a bunch of different methodologies into one right now. So on the weekly time frame, we can see this is my outlook on this. We've been in this range, so we have a support line from here. It also goes like way back here as in support and resistance. So we scroll in, we have support, right? Support breaks through. Now I'm thinking, hey, this is now a resistance line, as well as we are also sitting inside supply. Some people might see it as a breakout retest. Okay, what do I say here? Reacting off of resistance, reacting off of supply slash breakout zone. Price is breaking through the top of the Bollinger Band. So if we pull up the Bollinger Band, we could scroll through. Earlier this week, this was like piercing way above it. Even though the candle didn't close, I really like it for looking for selling opportunities. So I'm thinking, hey, we might get a rejection. Same thing like down here, how it's testing the bottom, testing the bottom. In this case, at one time up here, this was a big black candle shooting to the upside, piercing way above it, right? So I like looking for selling opportunities if I can find an entry, as well as the stochastics RSI. I'm not too much on the indicators, but sometimes I like to throw them up. It is way overbought, so I am liking the odds as we have a bunch of different methodologies saying this thing is overbought. It's a good area to be looking for selling opportunities as a technical level, right? So I definitely like that, but I have to see evidence on my smaller time frame. So because we're using the weekly, I was using the 4-hour time frame as my evidence. And here we have on the 4-hour time frame, let's remove these indicators because it just clutters the chart. We're making these higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. I don't just want to sell this straight up. Sure, you could, but I need to see evidence of sellers coming into the market. And the first type of evidence was over here. That's when we started breaking those upward trend lines, but we have not yet removed these pivot point zones. And that's what I need to see. So since then, we have actually removed this whole area of pivot point area of demand, as well as broken that upward trend line and removed these demand zones down here. So the sellers are now taking control. Now, where I'm looking to enter on this, if we do manage to get a pullback, is somewhere up in here on this 1-hour supply zone. Kind of tighten up my zone a little bit. And this would be like a swing trade, right? Waiting for price to maybe pull back up into here with a stop loss above that area, and then looking to sell it down. All right, we got a good multiple time frame analysis. And I would actually be curious to anybody out there that's attempted swing trading. I know when I first got into, not first got into trading, but when I first started the year of 2022, it was one of my goals is to look into more swing trading. But I kind of put it off and stuff like that. But I was recently reviewing my stats and it was like a 48% win rate with 3-to-1 take profit of swing trades this year. I'm like, well, we only got a month left of trading in the year, so let me give it a solid month, test out some zones. So I'm in a couple positions right now, but I will explain it probably middle of December, late December, once after one solid month has gone by, so I can do a complete review. But I would ask you guys if you guys have tried it, how did it go? If your trading got better, because I've heard lots of stories of traders doing better, but I know day trading is a lot more popular as people like to think of it a get rich quick. It's fun and exciting. Get out of positions, like you're actively on the charts. It's a lot of work, but swing trading kind of takes that off. 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night, a lot more easier, and it's higher probability in my opinion. So I would like to hear your guys' opinion on that. And regarding the crypto market, I uploaded a video explaining this whole crash between Mr. CZ and FTX. If you guys wanted to check that out, I will pop it on the YouTube video right now, but that will be in the description below for you guys to check out to explain this whole crash of what happened in the crypto market happened last week. But you guys can check that out as well after this video, of course. So far, you've seen a room tour, you've seen some trade reviews, some watch list ideas, thoughts on crypto, as well as some swing trading, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Let's talk about the Mayan ruins. It's one of the seven wonders of the world, aka Chichen Itza, one of the great pyramids out there. It's always been my dream to go out there, and every time I'm in Playa del Carmen, Cancun, I'm like, I should have gone, I should have gone, I should have gone. This time I made the leap and I just went. So great experience. I am going to showcase that now. So appreciate if you guys watch the rest of the video and like this video so far. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can always reach out to me on social media at Moneyball Austin. So let's get that going. I'll see you guys there. Cheers. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Absolutely beautiful. Check it out. Chichen Itza at its finest. This is something I've always wanted to come and do. It took me 3 hours on a bus. We stopped at an all-you-can-eat buffet spot, as well as a cenote and a couple other places. Now that I'm here, this is one of the places I've always wanted to go. Iconic spot, one of the seven wonders of the world now. I've done a previous traveling and trading vlog. I will show you a picture of when I was here previously last year in the Yucatan. And I always told myself, hey, I want to go check out Chichen Itza, one of the main ones that just recently became one of the seven wonders of the world. I kept putting it off, and every time I got on a plane, I was like, I should have gone. So this time I was determined to go, and I must say, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, originally the Mayans, they came from Asia, and they came across through the Bering Sea, known as Siberia, then across Alaska of what we know today, Canada, United States, and they landed in the Yucatan and spreaded their roots across the Yucatan of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Belize. And this all happened about 2600 BC. So long time ago. Their ruins still last here today. So eventually the Mayans, when they began to settle down in this area through Central America and southern Mexico, they came across the Olmecs, who the Mayans looked up to a lot as a mentor, as a coach, because they taught them a lot about farming, astrology. They share the same calendar, how to hunt and gather foods in this area. So they looked up to these guys a lot. They share a lot of the same gods as well. So they definitely respected the Olmecs a lot. Now the main pyramid that you see behind me is like the one that everybody goes and takes photos. I mean, look at this. Everybody is here. Tour guide central. It's crazy. A lot of people say come here in the early morning time, so you have the whole place to yourself. But this is one of the main pyramids here. It's 365 steps, and it's actually quite interesting how they built this, because there's 4 different sides and each one of them have 365 steps to get to the top. And there's 4 corners, and it would each represent the different seasons that are here in the Yucatan. You know, you got spring, autumn, summer, winter. And depending on where the sun hits on the angle of the pyramids, that would let them know it's time to harvest or plant their crops for the next season. And during the summer equinox, there's a snake head. I'll show you guys that. There's a snake head, and during those days, it creates a wave in the pyramid, and it lines up directly with the snake, and it looks like the snake is like gold. So a lot of royalties would actually live here, and civilians wouldn't live here in the site. It's a massive site. We're gonna go around, but the civilians and a lot of other people would live outside of these walls, and those would be like the subdivisions of where people are actually living. And so this would be held for like royalty meetings and stuff like that. So definitely really cool area. This whole spot, the Mayans, is like, you come to the Yucatan, everything is limestone and coral. Well, why? Well, how many years ago when the asteroid hit Earth and wiped out the dinosaurs, this whole place was flooded. The asteroid actually hit right in the Yucatan, right off the northeast coast. And so this whole place went underwater, a bunch of limestone was created, and if you go up to just random blocks that you see as limestone, it's coral, right? So that's how they built all these pyramids, through limestone, coral, and that type of stuff. So interesting, so fun. Estimated people that lived here, 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. That's an iconic Call of Duty saying. I can't believe it makes sense. I got all my notes here. I just realized that as I said that. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Call of Duty 4 reference for you guys. What's cool about this is if you clap, it echoes back here at this spot and other places as well that I'll show you. Let me give you an example. Awesome, eh? That's so cool. We are at our next area. This is the Mayan ball court, and that right there is like a basketball hoop. This was the main game that the Mayans played, and I will show you guys a video clip of how they would play this game, basically with like a 9-pound, I think it's like a 6 to 9 pound ball of rubber, and they can only use their hips, and they have to score it through that hoop. Now, there's one thing I hate talking about if I don't have the facts right, and I don't believe you should talk about a subject if you don't know all the facts. But the thing is, this is something in just history in general. We don't know what happened thousands and thousands of years ago. People still don't know whether or not, if it's like sacrifice, the winner or the loser of the captains of each team would play on this game. It's a score up to 1 point. It's not like the average sports games that you see today where it's like 60 minutes, whoever scores the highest points win. This was a game, best athletes that they could pick, and it's first to 1 point. Now, the thing about this that baffles me is that people argue about here is that hoop is literally 20 feet high. There's no way that you can get a 10 pound, 9 pound, 20 pound ball of rubber up there using your wrist or your waist. It doesn't make any sense. So a lot of people don't really know if it was used for like the winners or the losers would get sacrificed, but that's kind of what they were saying. That's what they go by now, but they are not sure. And that basically goes for history around the world. And so we're always trying to put the puzzle together. And you would think, how many people, let me ask you guys a question. How many people do you think would go to this sporting arena to watch this game? It happens very rare. It's, once or twice a year, something like that, that people would come out here and they would play a game. Winner or loser of the captains get sacrificed, and it's like an honor to get sacrificed for the gods, for more rain or whatever they want. No general public was allowed to come in and watch. A couple people, only a handful of people, high ranks, royalty, and they would sit one on that end and all the way on that end, 200 yards of field. And what's interesting about this place is the acoustics of the limestone is you can actually communicate with the people from all the way down there just because of the limestone, the layout, how the vibrations of your voice bounce off the walls, and you can have a normal conversation without yelling. Really interesting stuff. So I'm at the other end, and basically I will show you guys clips of people doing it. I'm not gonna sit here and yell, "Hello, mate." Oh, do you guys hear that? "Hello, mate." And so we would have conversations with people. "Get me another beer, mate." You'd have conversations with the people across the other side. "How's the weather over there, mate?" Oh, that's classic. So hey, really cool area. I love sports. So this is where they would play one of their games every now and again. Winner or loser gets sacrificed, or maybe it was for bets or something like that. We just don't know. We don't know. And anybody who says this is guaranteed, I question it, because these things, I could see maybe there was a big platform and it got destroyed over time. But the thing is like 20 feet high. 20 feet high. In order to get a ball through there, they said that they would have potentially used wooden pallets to score. Thing is, we just don't know. Really interesting stuff, and I'm standing right here where the Warriors fought. That's an incredible feeling, I can tell you that. Pass me the ball, man, I got a goal. Oh, let's continue on. This is awesome, eh? So much fun. Isn't it the best feeling? You dream about going somewhere for many years, and then you finally go there, and a big smile across your face, learning the history about the Mayans thousands of years ago. Oh, so interesting, so cool. I got all my notes here. I watched like 2 walking tours last night, a documentary, like 3-4 hours worth of videos, and I read a couple articles on everything, opposing sides, right? Opposing sides of the arguments, so I can present them to you about what other people think would happen. And it's up to you to figure out what you think, but that's the beauty of history. We just don't know. Here is the other side. We got one of the Lord Thy Money Kings over there, and the other Lord Thy King way over there. Oh, that's so cool. It's like walking through one of your favorite sports stadiums, eh? Woohoo, let's go. Okay, so we're right over here. There is the pyramid. This would be known as the entrance to the underworld, which is known as the Jaguar, and you would enter through here. And you know what? I'm not exactly sure, but they reference this as the entrance to the underworld, and it used to be covered in paints, and then once armies came through, they destroyed half of the paintings here that you can see on the wall, half of them, and not the other half, because the people that were raiding the place also believed in these same gods, and they don't want to disrespect and destroy their own gods. And so that's why you'll see half of them removed and then half of them still here. Absolutely amazing. So cool. Here I go, mate. I'll meet you in the underworld. This is an area where they would place dead skulls, hang them on like a pitchfork and let them sit there. Basically, it's called the Sum Padre. Hopefully you guys can see that. It's a function of a platform that was exhibited of the skulls of the enemies and sacrificed prisoners. Wow. All right. And this is a big, big deal for these people, because normally, like especially in the Mayan culture, they would have Cinco de, what is it? No, Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead, which is like 3 days of the year. Your dead people, your dead family members or friends come back to life, and you can spend time with them, with their spirits. A lot of the time, if you ever died in the war, you want to be placed back with your family, and you'd be buried in the house underground, wrapped in limestone so your body doesn't smell. And they would bury you in the middle of the house underground. And so it's important to have the skull of your family member, because that's where everything is, that's where the mind is. You want to have the body as well. So to not have the skull of your friends or your family, or royalty in this case, have it sticking up here, basically a big trophy case. You know how we all have trophies at our house when we were younger? Your kids have them. Well, this would be their trophy case of the enemy's heads, people that betrayed them. Nasty, eh? Ooh, that's cool. That's very cool. Let's keep going. Once there would be a sacrifice, they would walk down this long road. I'll show you guys a video of that. And this would be one of the cenotes that they would come to. Maybe paint the color of the body blue or whatever different color, hoping that it blesses the gods and they get rain or whatever else they could think of. Maybe a good harvest in return. They would never go out there and swim. It would be for dunking the body in there, letting it soak there, cleanse the body. Really fascinating. I gotta run. I got like 20 minutes and I still got 2 other things to record, and then my tour group is out of here. So quick. It's not enough time. I didn't even spend any time with them. I told my guys, like, hey, I'm out of here. I gotta do my stuff. And he's like, yeah, no problem. You go do it. Meet us at the tour bus in an hour and a half. And then boom, I got 20 minutes and I still gotta do 2 other segments. Oh my gosh, panic. Put the panic back in Hispanic, baby. Let's go. Oh, this is the road, by the way. People trying to sell goods. Let's go. Okay, this right here was raided and destroyed by explosives by a Spanish conqueror, explorer known as Francisco, what's his name? Francisco Montiego. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And he believed that a lot of the Mayans had gold artifact treasuries hidden in these tombs from the people. So he went around to these Mayan places and started bombing them. And I don't know if he found anything, but that is what's left from what happened to this place right here. And it's too destroyed for them to restore it. And I think it makes a good story anyways. Usually it should be a very nice path like you see at the bottom, but then it got destroyed through explosives. That's what the saying is, in the 1500s, once the Spanish ran through and started raiding everything. Because you guys might be wondering, how did it all end up collapsing? Which is what everybody wants to know. How did the Egyptians build the pyramids? All that type of stuff, and just history is lost altogether. This once was all underwater when the dinosaurs were here. Then it was built up into a massive civilization through the Mayans that crossed Asia, over Siberia, freezing cold through Alaska, Canada, America, and then landed in here in the Yucatan, who eventually found the Olmecs and taught them how to do all this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. Now, it is said that they ended up collapsing the Mayans altogether. They don't really know for sure. They eventually disappeared. But it's also believed, it's true, that the Mayans broke up into a lot of different factions of different types of Mayans, and they all went to war with one another, and they were small teams. They were teaming up with other small tribes to defeat other Mayans, and there was a big war between Mayan Pans versus the Chichen Itzas. And the Mayan Pans absolutely destroyed these guys, and they got wiped out. But then altogether, there might have been a massive drought here in Mexico, in Central America, that wiped off everybody. We don't know. And today's technology, we have LiDAR, and we have the ability to fly over jungle, which they've been doing in Brazil, and seeing all these different areas. And the Mayans ruins are completely buried under dirt, under the forest, and they're just discovering this stuff now. Potentially civilizations before the Mayans, and it's really interesting stuff, and we're always learning more and more about it. Here, actually right here, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough time, but that's called the 1,000 columns, or the 100 columns, and it's where they would have a small marketplace where you could buy and sell goods and services. Bunch of columns and stuff like that, and at the top you'll see a jaguar at the very top, and it would be covered by palapas and stuff like that. I really find it interesting, just the whole history of Earth, different civilizations that rose and fall. The Spanish came in trying to fight the Mayans on the water, like in Tulum, and I talked about that in my other video I did in Tulum on those ruins, about how the Spanish would try to invade and the Mayans would have to fight them off. But then eventually the Mayans destroyed themselves, it's said, and then the Spanish came in and just wiped everybody out. Those damn Spaniards, man. Those damn Spaniards. So, man, I found it really interesting history. I wanted to share that with you guys. Overall, this experiment here, I mean, to be honest, I haven't even seen everything. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cover it all. I really wish. But I think I saw the main points. I shared with you guys what I really like about this place. The whole tour costed me $60, and that's a 3-hour bus ride here, 3-hour bus ride back. We also went to a cenote. Also, we got an all-you-can-eat buffet. And then we went to one other place too. But $50, you can't complain. So fascinating. Hey, I think I'm going to end it here. If you guys really enjoy this video, traveling and trading around the world, bringing it to you live from Chichen Itza, baby. Comment, like, I really appreciate it. If you guys like this video, subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know. Get your free training down at moneyballtrading.com. You can see exactly how I am trading and traveling around the world, and get your free masterclass there. I will see you guys out on the next adventure. Signing out from Chichen Itza. Let's go. Cheers.